much in love. After all, it just keeps getting better. There's no one for me but you. After all, before you, love was only in my dreams, and through the years we've made a few come true. No, we can't say that love's always easy, but it's always worth it with you. And after all we've been through together, who'd believe we'd still be so much in love? After all, it just keeps getting better. There's no one for me but you. After all,
It was probably 25, 30 years ago, something like that. We came out to visit, and Ed says, I need to go check my traps. I said, well, I'd like to go see that. I've never seen it before. So Ed said, sure, come with me. So we jump in the pickup, and we head out somewhere out here in the wilderness. And we check a few traps. Then he pulls out his three-wheeler out of the back of the pickup. Not a four-wheeler, then death traps the three-wheelers. And he says, get on. And I looked at him and he looked at me and I said, you want me to get on that? And you're going to walk? He goes, oh no, I'm going to ride with you. So this is the way it looked. I'm sitting on the three-wheeler and I'm running the gears and the foot brake. He's kneeling behind me, reaching over me, and I've got my hands on the fuel tank, and Ed's doing the steering. And he's also got control of the throttle, which that'll come into play here in a minute. Anyway, we're heading around this curve, and it'd been raining pretty hard, and there'd been a four-wheel drive in there. So we're going around this corner, and all of a sudden this three-wheeler starts drifting towards the middle of the road. Next thing I know, the front wheel of the three-wheeler is in the rut that the four-wheel drive truck made with the back tires up here. So the three-wheeler's going like this. And Ed says if he gives it a little more gas, it'll come right out there. So we go around the corner. That's where the four-wheel drive guy stopped. So we hit the end of that and flipped. We did, I don't know how many somersaults we actually ended up doing, but all I know is he landed on top of me. So anyway, I appreciate that trip.
Thank you, Bill.
Now I'm going to tell two stories about Debbie. When we were kids, we were very involved in 4-H. We loved 4-H. It was Jen and Clea Adams was our what do they call them?
Leaders,
4-H leaders. Our group was called Champs or Bust. It was a great time. This picture right here of his back. Anyway, we were showing, Debbie spent just enough time with her animals to where you could call them tame. Not gentle, but just, you know, they would tolerate you being around them. When you get into the 4-H ring, there's rules. If your animal gets away from you, you get docked points for showmanship. If your animal gets away from the and gets out of the ring, you're disqualified from showing. Now, when the judge checks a sheep or checks a steer, they have to run their hand down the back to check the finish. When they check a sheep, they'll drop the hind leg to see the width of the leg of lamb. Well, Debbie's sheep he was okay, but he wasn't real gentle. Anyway, judge was feeling of the lamb, and he reached up and he grabbed a hold of that leg and pinched it, and that sheep jumped straight in the air. Debbie grabbed a hold of it and threw it down on the ground, which looked like a move that she used on me quite a few times. Anyway, she grabbed this sheep by the jowl, and she picked him up where his feet was off the ground about 4 inches, shook him 2 or 3 times, and set him back down. She fixed his legs, and the judge come back, and she looked at him and says, "Don't touch him." A little while later, we were showing our steers. And this steer right here was probably one of the hardest steers that the Nicholas family ever had to try and break the lead. He was a tough one. I spent more time with him than Debbie did, but we won't go into that now. Anyway, she's showing this steer. And again, the judge walks up and he looks at Debbie, looks at the steer, Debbie looks at him. And he's got to feel the top line to see what kind of fat covers on the ribs and stuff. And he starts running his hand down that steer, and he got towards the back end, and that steer just didn't want anything to do with it. And there's a gate probably about 40 or 50 feet away. And if they get outside the ring, you're disqualified. Well, about 15, 20 feet before she got to that opening, Debbie sat down and she pulled that probably 1,100-pound steer. He did a 180. And she dragged him back into the middle of the ring and turned him around, and the judge looked at her and says, "Don't you even think of touching my steer." And as you see, Debbie's got a red ribbon there. But that was a blue ribbon steer, the judge told us afterwards, from the few seconds of judging that the judge could actually do. He said, "I thought he was a blue ribbon steer, but I needed to touch him one more time, but I was told that wasn't going to happen." So I think what I really like to say is my sister's the best. Some of my fondest memories are with her and some of her friends in this room. Driving Main Street in the old 62 Chevy pickup with her and her friends, and she would let me ride with them, but she made sure that I knew that when she saw a hot guy and she said duck, I had to get on the floor. And, I spent most of my time dragging Main Street on the floorboard. I think Patty and Bonnie and Kim Reedy, and I know those are 3 of them that I can remember. So anyway, congratulations, David and Ed. I love you both. And who's next?
Sometimes Sam did something, I'm not exactly sure what he did. All I know is he was on his bed, my mom screamed into the room, and he just coiled up in a ball. He was, I don't know, 16 years old. And she started wailing on him with her fist on her arm, just punching him. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, we were laughing about it, but Joe and I were laughing about it. Sam was not. And anyway, she beat the guitar out of him. I still don't know what he did. Probably what he didn't do. Sam had a gift of not doing some things.
That surprises me.
Anyways,
Guys, this is all new to me.
she had a very sweet side, but she didn't want to aggravate her. She had the fires to her that definitely didn't want to get riled up. Dad, he had fire. Everybody knew that. And so he taught us how to work, and my mom, you know, I understand this a little bit better now, but not only did my dad teach us how to work, but my mom allowed us to go and learn how to work. That's the other side of it. Sometimes mothers just keep their kids in a little basket and won't let them go out and do hard things with their father. And she never did that with us. So thank you, Mom and Dad. We could tell all kinds of funny stories about my dad and little moments on job sites and stuff like that, and really entertain everybody for a while. But one time, we were cleaning up after a job. I was in high school, I think I was a senior, and he's looking for his hammer. He says, "Man, I'm sick of you kids losing my tools." And he's looking everywhere, and he's blaming it on Shelton and me. And I'm like, "Dad, we didn't lose it. I mean, that was you. You were the last one who used it." "No, it had to be you guys." And he looks up where he was last working, and guess what he found? His hammer. He was notorious for that. Still does that some, actually. My mom, if she's missing something, she just blames my wife. Annie must have come and took it. She's never guilty, but she always gets the blunt for everything, running everything. Poor man. But on a serious note, they've been married a long time. They've raised 4 kids and 21 grandchildren they got now. And they've been wonderful. And I'm grateful for them. And, some years ago we almost lost. Bill, you started this, didn't you? But 8 years ago, she was diagnosed with cancer after my dad already battled it a couple of years prior to it. And we thought we'd for sure lose her. It was, in fact, my wife and I had several conversations. When you get someone in that situation, we had to anyway. We came to the point where we already lost her. We reconciled that in our minds, spiritually and mentally, and we just hoped that she wouldn't go. But then she didn't. And here's 8 years later, and she's still with us. For lots of reasons, most of which I don't know, but there's a lot of people's hearts yet to touch. And grateful for both of them. I was going to say that name is Christ Amen, but we don't do that in this kind of setting. We don't really give these kind of talks very often. Okay, Chum, I think it's your turn, dude.
I actually really didn't commit to anything. No, it's okay. I guess a continuation of my mom's sometimes fiery temper. And I was going to say something about Sam with the gift of not doing, but when it came to school, and when I was in high school, I had the best gift of not doing anything. And, if there was a definition of laziness when it came to schoolwork in high school, it was me. And after my mom received several notifications from the school about my poor grades, I remember just coming in off the bus. I just opened the door and my mom was right there. And I don't know if she was pretending to be sweeping the floor when she came in or if she had it planned out. But she got pretty mad anyway. She was just like, I don't remember how it worked, but somehow I was down on the ground laughing. And she had the broom in her hand, and she just, I think it made her mad because I was just laughing. Anyway, but it's amazing something worse didn't happen considering my horrible grades, especially my freshman year. I don't know how I passed, but I'm lucky I've improved. But no, I think my favorite thing that I remember most about my mom was because of how bad I did struggle in school. She always pushed me to make sure to take up responsibility to at least do my works and pass. And so, if it wasn't for her, I don't think I would have been held back like for 2 or 3 years. But so I'm thankful for that. And then and my dad, I think my favorite memory of that, well, my mom contributed too, is I I really love music. Not that I'm that good at playing it or singing, but I just love listening to music, and I love my mom and dad had their record collection. And I love listening to their old records. But I got no one crying about that. I guess because I love music so much. But I love old music. I love the music I listen to. And I'm just thankful for that. And anyway, we'll have somebody else come out.
In-laws are very exclusive.
This guy's arguing about the whole thing.
All right. I get nervous getting in front of people. I don't talk a lot. I'm a very quiet person. People here that know that. No, okay, I'm going to tell you just two things. For a couple things, but so when we were little kids, it didn't matter if we're camping or mom was gone, and my dad said, "Oh, boy, you didn't," we crawl into bed with him because we're scared or something like that. But you better go pee 3 times, get that bladder loosened up, get it emptied out, because when you go to sleep with that guy, this is what it was when they were like a kid. Because as soon as you move to get comfortable, I'm not kidding you. Little kid too scared to go out and release the bladder. I mean, it's like, oh, gee, I can't get out here. I'm going to get drunk. Isn't that right, huh? It's so true. It's so true. Yeah. And then the story about me getting. I didn't hear most of it. It probably really didn't happen. It's probably less. I was a more humble one. If I was any more humble, I wouldn't be perfect. But yeah, it was fun times. There's all kinds of stories. Every child, I think, can tell good stories about their parents. But the legacy that I still have for me, my other 2 brothers enjoy it, but I think I definitely have the passion for it, is when I was a young kid. I don't know why I'm crying about this. This is worse than the music. Is the first hunt I went on. I was hooked. The first hunt I ever went on with my dad, I was hooked. And so I go on lots of hunts. I go on 7-10 hunts a year, a lot of hunts. But that's the memory I have is the campouts, the hiking, building the fires. One time we were down in the Blue, and it was in November on a mule deer hunt, and we got down there with no sleep bags or nothing. It was too late to get out because it was good hunting the next day. I about froze my tushy off. Sleeping in cold weather with no sleeping bag. But it's those memories I have. It may not be the most spiritual, this or that, but for me, as a son, that left an impression. It was the outdoors and hunting. I love the outdoors. And yeah, that was good times. And as for my mom, there's a lot of stories there. But more on the serious note, just real quick. Wes has spoken about the cancer she got 8 years ago. It was hard times. The economy was down. Well, I'm barely surviving like anybody else. So I was away from the family. My family was virtually almost starving. And I was in Texas knocking doors selling roofs. And the guy owed me a lot of money. I lost a lot of money in that deal. Nobody paid me in that deal. And I was I remember this day I was eating and got a phone call. Found out the news. So I just walked outside. And the people I was with knew. I was with some friends that we were out there trying to make a living. I went outside. But in my early 30s, I thought I had wisdom kind of figured out. I kind of thought I had knowledge figured out. There's one thing I learned from that whole experience for me. I had was to lose that wisdom that a mother has. And the first thing I thought of was, why did I get closer? And how come I didn't listen more when I had a chance? Because I thought it was all gone too. So, anyway, that's my thing is, I don't take death very well anyway, so I was really scared. And, but the whole time I was in Texas, I tried to get money to get back, so I could fly back. I didn't have money to get back, anything like this. Finally talked to the guy we were working for, if he'd loan me some money and pull out my check that he owed me. And he said, oh, no problem. He pulled the money out of my check and never paid me the rest of my check. But that whole time, it was, I just feared. But all these 8 years later, I don't know if I mended the bond like I should have on my part, but I still appreciate my mom's wisdom. And sometimes we think our parents get a little annoying, a little into our business, or whatever it may be. And this ain't a preachness, but this is for me and my mom. Was that experience though? It taught me to listen to all mothers much closer on what they have to teach us. And then I did fear that I wouldn't have. And Uncle Bill, you ever get back up here and do this again, I'm going to whoop your butt. Jamie Christmas. That's all I have to say. Does anybody have anything else to offer? You do that, I'll tell them how Morgan delivers alcohol.
Seriously? Hi, everyone. So I'm the only girl and perfect, clearly. So I won't say any mean stories about my parents, except for my mom. We had to go school shopping together. It was not pleasant. We had different taste. It was always a struggle. That is my school memory of my mother. And I had to clean a lot. She taught me how to clean. I'm a very good cleaner. And my oldest daughter is a very good cleaner too. She's very, 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 very good. My mom's always been a good example to me about being kind to people. And when I had 8 children, and my first time my little ones out of college, my oldest Addie had a really bad temper. Addie, if you're in here, shake your head in agreement because you know it's true. And my mom said, Mindy, you have the same temper. I was pretty sure I didn't. So, but I probably did. And she gave me hints on how to deal with Addie's temper, who, she's outgrown it now, so that's good. That's really good. Some of my memories with my dad is I loved Little House on the Prairie when I was little, at Green Gables, all those kinds of shows, and my dad would take us fly fishing. It was a grand time, and we'd wake up really early, and on one trip he caught a whole bunch of fish, and he cooked them, and we got to eat them on a rock. And it was raining, we had to dry our clothes, we got to eat under the tree, and in my mind I was just Lord Eagles Wilder. It was a good memory, I remember that. It was very, 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 very fun. I used to do rodeo quinning a lot, and those were a lot of memories with driving with my parents long distances, and my dad was a really bad driver through the canyon. And one time we got down to Queen Creek, and our horse came out like sick. Like, I don't even know if it's possible, but it was true.
He's polite and he's kind, got baby blue eyes, and his gentle hands could rock me any old time. His slow southern drawl could drive a girl right out of her mind. His old-fashioned ways, I'd be out of style, but he'll tip his hat, knock you out with a smile. When I take his arm, all the ladies turn green, 'cause I got every cowgirl's dream. He ain't like the others, not the ones I've seen. My man treats me like a queen, and I don't I'm living